Hi everyone, Arnott's Tim Tams here with Rhyme Signatures, the nerdiest music review this side of being the most exciting and deeply unhealthy way to drink coffee that mankind has yet created. And today we're going to be doing a review of the latest Toehider EPs from his 12 in 12 project. For those who are just catching up, this is of course the second time this year that I will be discussing the musical genius that is Michael Mills and his one-man band Toehider. These are the 4th, 5th and 6th EPs in the ambitious 12 in 12 project that Mills has been undertaking this year. And if you haven't checked out his Patreon yet, then I like to think that maybe my analysis of this batch of EPs might just about be enough to push you into hitting his subscribe button. Just like the previous 3 entries, this new wave represents many of the different flavours of Mills's brain, and each of them is an exciting, fist-pumping exercise in just how creative he is, and just how astonishing it is that he's been able to pump out these EPs with a clockwork, consistent regularity, and not a single one of them has missed the mark so far. So, what have we got this time around? There's Horse EP, Take on a Tank, and the mouthful that is Children of the Sun 3, a collection of cartoon theme songs from an alternate timeline in which all cartoons are duck-themed. I think we'll just call that one Children of the Sun from here on out. Each and every one of these EPs strikes a different chord, and each of them has left a significant lasting impression on me. And I think taken as an overall serving that these 3 are in fact just about a little bit stronger than the first. It feels very much like Mills has gotten over any potential stuttering that always comes at the start of a new project, and he's gotten into an efficient rhythm with this season's output. Horse EP is most assuredly my favourite of the bunch. The huge swing of Horse Song is an immediate hit, giving me spaghetti western vibes, coupled with Toehider's very own What Kind of Creature Am I? In fact, some of the riffs almost feel lifted directly from that, which may or may not be deliberate. It turns out, at least in this song, that the kind of creature Mills is a horse. It's a fantastic way to kick the EP off, but man, everyone about to stand to attention when the second track kicks in. How Do I Dial It Down is absolutely one of the best songs that Mills has ever recorded. A slow-building epic with deeply personal lyrical content, a heart-stoppingly powerful vocal delivery, and some of the most grandiose orchestrations to ever close out a Toehider song. It's absolutely fantastic and gives me chills across my whole body as the zenith of the track comes to a razor-sharp climax. Honestly, this is the song of this run of EPs, and could very easily be the best song of the whole project. So rather than trying to one-up himself, Mills follows up with Nobody Wants to Hear Another Song About Your Heart, which sees him embracing a more melodic, indie rock approach to songwriting. It's a beautiful little ditty with some great chunky guitar work, soothing vocals, and an extremely warming feeling overall. It works as a great come-down to the bombastic, over-the-top scaling of the summit that was How Do I Dial It Down? It turns out the answer to that very question lay within the very song that followed it. Then we get to the end with the deliberately awful E-Snout, the search for the worst Toehider song attempt number 1. Now, it would be mean-spirited of me to critique this song in a serious manner, because Mills is clearly wearing the world's biggest troll face with this one. From the baffling lyrics to the horrendously overblown auto-tune, the discordant synth work, and general feeling of angular audio discomfort about it, this was clearly a bad song by design, and honestly, you kind of have to applaud Mills for having the brass balls to include this song within the project. It's brief, at times hilarious with just how much it juts out compared to the rest of the EP, and it's definitely the sort of song you'll want to queue up at a social gathering to confuse the bejesus out of everyone present. What fun. So, anyway, with that experience out of the way, we move into the second EP, Take on a Tank, wherein Mills embraces a more classic throwback heavy metal sound. There's a lot of old-school power metal sensibilities in opener Meet Me at the Stronghold, high-tempo guitars, soaring vocals, lyrical content that will make a Viking blush, and some of the most infectious melodies of the project to date. It's a headbanger of a tune, but it keeps a certain joviality about itself all the same. Mills is clearly having a lot of fun with this one, and not worrying about taking things too seriously. Drown It in the Moat keeps the power metal train rolling, conjuring up images of powerful fantasy heroes smashing beer kegs open and telling dull stories of their battles with vampires, dragons and minotaurs. It's another catchy toe tapper, but he does suffer a little bit from perhaps being a tad too similar to the song that came before it. One cannot deny the excellence of the guitar work though, as Mills can really shred and isn't afraid to show that off here to great effect. Take on a Tank slows things down a little, bringing in flavours of the new wave of British heavy metal, allowing a bit more of a chilled out but no less focused move to a vocal push during the verses over the intense guitar-centric tracks that came before it. Mills wastes no opportunities to show off his absurd range, with wailing falsettos harmonising up against the aggressive, raspy, almost guttural soaring passages. The intensity of his delivery cannot be understated, and he continues to showcase precisely why he is one of my all-time favourite vocalists. The EP closes out to "You Love Heavy Metal, Don't You?", which carries the playful sense of humour that you'd expect from a song with a title such as that. It's classic heavy metal, of course, as is the theme of this EP, but there's a wonderful light-hearted forthrightness to the lyrics and the overall mood of this song. It's a strong highlight for me, and I'd easily call it my favourite song off this EP. "You need heavy metal, don't you?" Mills inquires before letting loose a wail that will make a banshee blush. Top tier stuff and certain to become a long-term favourite from this project. Now, let's get real here for a second. I'm a duck fan, a very big fan of cartoon ducks, you know, they're kind of my thing, and they have been for a little while now. And I waste no time in saying that I felt seen when I saw the title of the final EP of this run pop up in my email inbox. Children of the Sun 3, a collection of cartoon theme songs from an alternate timeline in which all cartoons are duck themed, feels like it was aimed directly at my heart, and the trigger firmly pulled. This essentially is a compilation of some fictional 90s cartoon theme tunes, and while of course these shows never existed, obviously, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be getting up at 6 AM on a Saturday morning anyway to watch Quackbeard on repeat based on the strength of its theme tune alone. Now this is a very brief EP, coming in at only around 13 minutes long and about, 8 songs, so that kind of gives you the idea of the sort of territory you can expect. These are written as theme songs. The structuring is of course different to what comes before this, but it's precisely that brevity that shows off just how creative Mills is. We've gone from blistering heavy metal, deep epic orchestrations and western-infused prog to literal cartoon theme songs, and all of it still feels so distinctly Toehider. Due to the unusual structuring of this EP, I'm not going to give you a song-by-song breakdown like the other two, but I will say that this is easily the most creative, original and interesting EP that Mills has put out so far. Truck the Duck and Quackbeard are both extremely catchy and memorable earworms. Dr. Mallard's Celebrity Quack is a hilarious send-up of po-faced noir, and for those that are invested in the ongoings of the pond, is a deeply disturbing and unusual piece that kind of really defies classification. The true gem of the EP, though, is the final song, Uncle Aqua's 16-bit video game music, wherein Mills has taken the first song from this ambitious project off the debut EP, Quit Forever, and reworked it into an old-school Sega Mega Drive sounding piece. He's even put the sounds of someone playing the game into the mix of the song, including transitioning from the title screen to the first level of gameplay, sound effects representing someone moving through a menu selection screen, and an abrupt transition to triumphant victory music when the player has beaten the level. If ever there was any doubt that Mills is just a superb composer, brilliant musician, and just all-around genius, it's how well he's put together this absolutely fantastic slice of 16-bit chiptune nostalgia. It's incredible and feels like it was plucked straight out of 1993 in the best possible way. It rounds off this season's EPs brilliantly, leaving me feeling elated and ready for anything, and extremely excited to see what comes next, now that we've reached the halfway point in this ambitious and so far very successful project. So, what else can I say about the second 3 EPs of Toehider's 12 in 12 project? Mills has absolutely found his stride with this latest batch, and for as much as I did enjoy the first 3 offerings, I feel that overall, the quality across these ones is even stronger. Not to besmirch those that came before at all, but Toehider shows that they only get better as the rolling stone gathers moss. It goes without saying, of course, then that I think you should immediately stop what you're doing and subscribe to Toehider's Patreon right now. The scope, ambition and success of this project so far is extraordinary. And you'll want to get comfortable with each and every one of these EPs before the presumed best of compilation gets released as an LP somewhere down the line. This is all, of course, my opinion, guys, as you know, so if you are already subbed to Toehider's Patreon, please tell me what you thought of these EPs in the comments down below. If you have anything else you've listened to this year that you think I should check out, maybe I've missed out on, please do let me know about it. I'd love to get around to giving my own thoughts. We're entering a bit of a dry spell at the moment for releases, so let me know what I've missed out on. If you like this video, please do share it with anyone else who you think would possibly enjoy it, and please, as always, guys, do consider subscribing for more content. If you want to follow me around the internet, I will leave my link tree down below, where you will also find a link to my Ko-fi page, where if you really enjoy the work that I do on the channel, I would really appreciate a donation to help support things. And until next time, guys, keep your rhyme signatures very, very odd.